David, if we can just start with the first question, you know, with the number of converging technologies that are making a major difference in the world, not only what you've spoken about, but there are a number of other technologies around, you know, networks and sensors and the like. I mean, how are we going to see, you know, the Internet of Things using sensor technology, blockchain, and artificial intelligence coming together in a practical way? How are people going to notice that in their day-to-day lives?
Thank you. So I gave you some examples of the Internet of Things, and it is already here in some way, right? Not everybody has a self-driving vacuum cleaner, but it is just a question of going to a store and buying one and deciding that it's worth it, rather than vacuuming yourself. Almost nobody has a self-driving car today, but the benefits of that will be so overwhelming that the diffusion will be almost like an explosion of technology engulfing the planet. You know, similarly how people in the 80s were saying, oh yeah, this phone thing is great, but Africa will never have phones because there is not enough copper in the world to lay down the cables so that we could wire Africa. Guess what? No wires. So
and sorry, David, just to butt in there, it's not only no wires, but more mobile adoption in Africa than anywhere else on the planet. Well, same in China. So wherever there's no copper wires, there's actually faster adoption of technology.
Exactly, and you know, sometimes societies that did not adopt the previous generation of technology are actually advantaged to adopt the new ones because they don't have that much vested interest in preserving the previous one. So, for example, something like 30% of the area of Los Angeles is covered by highways and parking lots. But a society with self-driving cars can design a much better use for its land than not wasting it for cars that don't benefit people. Actually, cars kill people. So with AI is also the same. AI is already here, and I have, for example, 200,000 photos or so in my Google photo archive, and you know, I evidently have no time labeling those photos, and I don't need to, because Google now can recognize every possible feature of a photo, and I can search by those features. So one of my favorite examples is people on a beach smiling at the sunset. And I actually have, I know because I did it, right? But I have 2 photos that correspond to that kind of search. Isn't that crazy? Because Google recognizes a sunset, recognizes people smiling, and recognizes that it is a beach. So AI is already here as well. The newest of these technologies, because the internet is 50 years old, AI is actually 70 years old. So the newest kid on the block is blockchain. And blockchain is not even 10 years old. There were precursors, but all the various solutions came together with Bitcoin, which is the first scalable application of blockchain. So we don't have to be surprised if all the pieces are not together yet. Everybody, even the experts, are still trying to wrap their heads around all the implications, let alone the interaction of these technologies. But it is going to be incredibly powerful, and it is a necessary thing because the internet is unstoppable. The evolution of computers is unstoppable. They have to be autonomous because we wouldn't be able keep up with them. They have to do their own thing without us, and they cannot be centralized. You know, there will not be, I guarantee you, there will not be a single world computer controlling everything. You know, very, very simple. The Chinese and the Americans wouldn't allow it, just among those two. So if you go from one single world computer to two, you understand that you will go to 4 to 1,000,000. So we have to architect everything in a decentralized manner. And what is there anything better than the blockchain to do that, and do that in a manner that we know already it works?
Yeah, absolutely. That's so true.